Under the Oak Tree is an incredible fantasy romance. But have you ever wondered how it got its name? Welcome to another episode of Explained. We're going to tell the legend of the Oak Tree and how it connects to our favorite couple, Maxi and Riftan, and why their relationship is better than the legend after all. Obviously, there are going to be spoilers. So what's up with the Oak Tree and why do we care? In UOT, there's a famous legend about the epic war hero Sir Rosam Wigru, who is madly in love with a beautiful nymph from an oak tree. Sound like anyone we know? Wigru won the war against darkness, uniting the Seven Kingdoms into the Roem Empire, a royal lineage that, by the way, Maxi is related to on her mother's side. But because of his injuries, he was forced to ride his white dragon up to heaven, leaving his nymph lover behind. The legend says the nymph still longingly waits for him, never losing faith in her true love. Two star-crossed lovers torn asunder. We can't help but feel the author put this myth in the story for a reason, and thinking about why reveals more about Maxi and Riftan's characters and their great love. At first glance, it seems obvious that Riftan is similar to Wigru, and Maxi is similar to the nymph. Riftan is an unmatched warrior, so good that he's considered one of the Wigru reincarnations. Could it be any more obvious? Maxi is like the nymph because she more often than not waits for Riftan for a long, long time. Like when he left for the dragon campaign the morning after their wedding. This may be a Wigru move for Riftan, but we don't blame Maxi for feeling total nymph angst. And let's not forget all of Riftan's missions killing monsters while Maxi worried at home in Calip's castle. And at the spring festival that is literally in honor of the nymph, Maxi dances around joyfully with a wreath and a sash just like the nymph in the legend who seduced Wigru. And Riftan is definitely seduced. Could it be any more obvious? But we can't help but notice that their roles are also reversed a lot along the way. Maxi decides to learn magic so she can be useful to Riftan and go with him in the future. Wigru for the win! She imagined herself shooting flames from her hands to vanquish monsters and raising storms to sweep away invaders. Then, she pictured a proud Riftan pulling her into a tight embrace. Wow, we would learn magic too if it meant we got an embrace from Riftan. And then, like Wigru, Maxi leaves when she is broken. She goes to the Mage Tower to really face herself and learn who she is, though she promises to return. And Riftan is like the nymph because he can't stop thinking about Maxi when he sees her as a child. Total nymph behavior. He saw her in his mind's eyes, soft hair that rippled like clouds, a small, pale face, and clear eyes that sparkled like a lake in winter. Whenever he thought of her, his heart warmed as though he had spotted a tiny woodland creature. Even his permanent scowl would flicker into a small smile. Even though Riftan knows that a peasant and a noble lady can never be together, his glimpse of Maxi remains his only good memory, so he waits longingly for the chance to see her again. Then, when Maxi leaves for the Mage Tower, Riftan's so heartbroken she would choose to leave instead of stay by his side that he actually says he won't wait for her any longer, in the most sob-worthy moment of Season 1.
I'll stop thinking about you. This time I'll wipe you from my mind. I'll stop making myself miserable.
Despite this, Riftan never stops thinking about Maxi, nymph-like loyalty. And Maxi realizes there's hope to save their relationship when she comes back to Anatole to see that he saved every letter she wrote in the course of their entire marriage. The fact that Riftan had held on to this piece of the past tore at her heart. At the same time, the knowledge that he yearned for her, as she did for him, was an immense relief. She clutched the tattered parchment to her chest as though it were the most precious thing in the world. At the end of the day, Maxi and Riftan's love is similar to the legend of Wigru and the nymph because the two love each other fiercely and devotedly, one might even say, in a legendary way. And what we appreciate even more than their love is the hard work these two put in to grow as people and against all odds stay together. Riftan acknowledges that the way he loved Maxi before wasn't healthy.
My overbearing behavior would have smothered you regardless of everything that happened. I see now that your decision to leave was wise.
And in return, Maxi is able to tell Riftan that she never wanted to leave him and why she had to go.
I have always hated myself, but thanks to you cherishing the likes of me, I've finally come to like myself.
She was able to become who she wanted to be because of his love, not escaping it. Sure, being honest isn't always as hot as ripping one another's clothes off, but the way Maxi and Riftan change and grow together makes UOT a romantic masterpiece where waiting is rewarded. Whether you are waiting as a nymph or a human, slow burn true love makes us swoon every time. What do you think? Did the story of Sir Wigru and the nymph remind you of Maxi and Riftan? What parts of them having to be apart drove you the most crazy? Let's be real, it's all of them. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video for more great UOT content.